Folks, the Warriors are potentially not done with the trade deadline. We got Jimmy Butler last night, got the superstar. Today, this morning on Get Up, Brian Windhorst is saying Warriors are still in the market. We have expiring contracts, multiple players. Who can we go get? There's a guy from the Bulls who would be a great center for this team. Randy Silver, Warriors Digest. We're going to break this all down on this episode. What did Brian say? How do we make it happen? The contracts, the salaries, the players, everything in between. It's trade deadline day, folks. You don't want to miss anything. We're here for it. Please subscribe to this channel so you don't miss the news. We're going to go live around trade deadline to give you everything from a Warriors perspective. Randy Silver here. Let's get it. Warriors fans, it could be another crazy day. The Golden State Warriors could still make more deals, per Windhorst. He said on Get Up, the Golden State Warriors might not be done dealing, Brian Windhorst reports. Warriors have multiple expiring contracts to deal and could be looking for a big man who can shoot like the Bulls, Nikola Vucevic. So let's break this down. Expiring deals, how does this work for the Warriors? Wrong chart. Number one, Steph Curry is still here, not expiring. Wiggins is now gone. Thank you. We're going to have a video about that coming out soon. Subscribe to the channel, you don't miss it. Green is still here. Dennis is gone. Thank you for your 2 months of service, Gary Payton II. Kevon Looney, 2 expiring contracts. Buddy Hield still here, not expiring. We need his shooting with Butler here. Kyle Anderson, thank you for your half-year of service, still here. Kuminga, expiring contract if they're not going to sign him. And folks, I'm making myself big. Think about it, folks. Kuminga could not be here. With Jimmy Butler getting $120 million, the Warriors don't have the money to sign Kuminga, it feels like. Especially when you go to this right here. You look at Butler, $48.9 million. I don't have it. I thought I had it. But he's making basically $60 million next 2 years. If Kuminga wants $30+ million, it's not going to be beneficial for us. Waters traded. Thank you for your half-year service as well. So potentially, if you want Vooch, and you look at his salary, $21 million next year, $20 million this year. How do you get to $20 million? Gary Payton, $9 million. Kevon Looney, $9 million. Puts you right there at $18 million, and maybe a draft picks. Maybe you have to give up somebody like Santos to make it fully there. But then, folks, if you're doing that, we go back to here. You'd have to give up 3 players potentially for 1. That gives you -3, 11, 10, 9, plus 1, 10 players, and we have to be to 12. So it does put the Warriors in a precarious position. We saw last night against the Jazz, we lost. Why? We were up 11 with 4 minutes to go. Young Jazz team playing in the atmosphere up in the Utah mountains, ready for it. We got gassed, and we didn't have the players on the back end to potentially help us win that game. We got to win every one of those games. Again, folks, here's what we have right now. You can see the draft assets. You see the first owed to us. We cannot exceed the first apron, as you know, on this channel. We talk about it a bunch. And Vooch fits in really nicely. Post becomes a backup player where he probably deserves, coming off the bench, making energy. I like this trade a lot. To get that to happen, again, probably expiring contracts in GP2 and Looney, and that's okay because now you have another center coming in. But this is big, folks. This is big. This is your North Star that we're going to be looking at throughout this whole time today. So that is where Nikola could come in. We've talked about potentially Brandon Ingram. Of course, maybe this happened when you were sleeping. The Pelicans are trading Ingram to the Raptors for Bruce Brown, Kelly Olynyk, a 1 first-round pick, and a second-round pick to Shams. KD staying with the Thunder. With the Suns. Kyle Kuzma going over. And a big trade as well. Dalton Connect, Cam Reddish, and a 2031 unprotected first round going to the Harlots. Oh my God, stop, Randy. Hornets for Mark Williams. That's a big get for the Lakers. They look like they're winning now and for the future. So how do we continue to fill out this roster? How does Jimmy Butler fit on this roster are the big key things. It's very questionable how this is going to work. Again, with Jimmy Butler here, we have 4 roster spots. If you're going to have to make multiple trades to get Nikola, it's going to take you down to that. 11 players under contract for $175 million. You must get back up to 14 by February 20th, meaning signing players. You could convert Quinten Post, who's been starting, make him a full-time player, and it looks like he's kind of earned it. Sign 2 10-day players like veteran minimum type, and then sign 2 ROS deals. But if you look at the roster again, folks, you put Jimmy Butler in there right next to Curry, around $60 million. And you have a pretty exploded roster. And everyone's signed. Curry and Green are signed 25, 26, 26, 27. You have these players for the next 2.5 years. Is this a team that you're happy with? Does Nikola help move the needle if your new starting five is Steph, Butler, Draymond, then some combination of Kuminga if he's still there, Hield if he's still here, Moody if he's still here, and Vucevic? We look at his stats across the board. 19.5 points per game. Look at the very bottom line here. Averaging 17 in his career, so above that. You look at his assists per game, 3.5, averaging above that. Rebounds per game, 10.4, right there. Averaging a double-double this season. He's averaged a double-double 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 years he's averaged a double-double. That's impressive stuff. Very impressive stuff. Free throw percentage above the Warriors 70%, which is what we need. You look at his three-point percentage right here, 39%, taking basically 2 to 5 a game. You think with Jimmy with the ball, ISO in the paint, he could step out, helps free up the floor, kind of like what we're seeing with the young man Quinten Post. Pick and roll with Steph Curry, Draymond Green as a point forward. Versatility on this offense. Field goal percentage 55%. Field goals 8 out of 14 a game. Probably goes down a bit on this Warriors team. Playing 32 minutes a game, above his career high. He started every game. So I think this is a good fit. We've broken him down many times on this. Again, to make it happen, you're going to have to give up probably GP2 expiring contract and Looney expiring contract. And that makes sense because Looney, I love Looney. He's just like Wiggins. Just a fundamental player for this team guy. But we need more shooting around this team, especially Jimmy Butler, who's more of a point, not point forward, but gets the ball, slasher, driver, can make some buckets, Jimmy buckets, but not a true traditional shooter. We're going to be having breakdowns on this channel all day. I have a video coming out in a couple hours of the sound bites from last game. After the game, Steph Curry talking, Steve Kerr talking. You don't want to miss anything Warriors Digest. We're going to have full post-mortem breakdowns after this is all done the next couple days. Videos coming out talking about the players leaving, what's going on, the future. Please subscribe to Warriors Digest. Help us get to 9,000 fans and then 10,000. Warriors Digest to the moon. It's going to be a fun day, folks. Don't go anywhere.